Hello, I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company. In this week's top news for natural gas, number one, in the US, weather models are turning much warmer. Number two, for Europe, seven LNG cargoes have been diverted from Asia to Europe due to the colder weather and lower Russian gas flows. Number three, China has released Deepseek AI model, which is causing a lot of controversy in the markets today. It could be AI's Sputnik moment. Number four, TotalEnergies has delayed the LNG project in Mozambique due to political violence and an Islamic insurgency. Let's take a look at the spot natural gas continuation chart here on tradingview.com. Prices right now are trading down significantly to just under 370 or down 32.8 cents or over 8.15%. This is because the weather models have turned appreciably warmer. Also, too, there are heavy losses in the equity markets, which is probably driving some profit taking here across the commodity sector to raise cash for margin calls in the equity sector. Let's take a look at the spot February contract. We've got a busy week ahead. Again, prices down just below 370 or down almost 33 cents. We've got the natural gas options expiration tomorrow. We've got the February contract expiration on Wednesday. And we've got the natural gas storage report on Thursday, which should be over 300 BCF, or the largest withdrawal of the entire season and one of the larger withdrawals for the last few years. As you can see, prices opened up below the daily gap or daily pivot, at 387.30, are now testing the lower pivot, which is 371.60, and now the next support will be at 363.10. As you can see, prices remain under pressure, and we'll watch carefully to see if that can continue today into tomorrow morning. Let's take a quick look at the March contract. The March natural gas contract, which will be spot on Thursday for the storage report, is holding above its lower support pivot at 323.80. It is currently trading 324, down 21 cents or over 6%. As you can see, prices are under pressure. If it can hold this pivot, it can move back again above to 329, and the daily pivot for the day was 337. Let's take a look at the weather. As you can see from the global map, the cool Arctic air building again across Russia into eastern Siberia continues to push across the globe into Canada, although this time with a more easterly tilt toward the Hudson Bay and Greenland regions. This is allowing for just moderate glances against the Great Lakes and the New England states, which continues to go forward through at least the next 2 weeks. There is some hint here around the 3rd where there may be another shot of cooler air that tries to push south through the Rockies. But right now, there appears to be a block, and this cold Arctic air remains fairly contained inside of Canada. Let's take a look at North America. As you can see, the cold Arctic air is centered directly across the Hudson Bay, which is now completely covered in ice, which will allow cold Arctic air to skate across that body of water and descend directly into the upper Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic, and New England states. This continues through the forecast, as we can see, for the next 2 weeks, with some very warm temperatures forecast toward the middle of the first week of February across the south and southeast regions. This especially is interesting. As you can see, that cold Arctic air pool continues to show up as we look into the second week of February, but right now lacks the mechanism to drive deeply south. And we've got snow cover. As you can see across this map, there is snow cover across the Rockies and parts of the south and across, of course, the Ohio and Tennessee valleys into the Mid-Atlantic and New England states. This will keep temperatures cooler for longer. When looking at Europe, we can see that there continues to be cool air, and there's certainly a chance for colder temperatures As we move into the first week of February, February 2nd into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th seems to be colder than normal, as most of the cold Arctic air still contains within Russia and Scandinavia. But let's take a look at that European weather. As you can see, the cold Arctic air that's coming off of Greenland is pushing further south and creating these vortices of storms, which are pushing across and slamming into places like England and Ireland, as well as France. This actually took out power for over a third of Ireland as Eowyn came in last week. As you can see, these vortices continue as we go through the forecast, which will probably give very high wind power output during this forecast period. It'd be very interesting to see as the models show a very deep storm building just south of Greenland about February the 11th. This is interesting because we want to carefully see where this will go. Let's take a look at Asia. We've got some cooler temperatures across some of the eastern provinces today and tomorrow. As we look in through the forecast, again, that cold Arctic air remains contained up in Mongolia and parts of Russia, but does poke its head into Korea's and parts of Japan, which continue to receive wonderful snow accumulations. But overall, it's fairly normal. Again, let's take a look and recap. The February contract, which again expires on Wednesday, is down just below 370, down 33 cents at 369.5, or down 8.22%. This is again a falling daggers environment. As Warren Buffett says, people, you want to buy when people panic, but this is certainly one of those times. Be careful in this market. If you think things are cheap and certainly have hit your buy levels, only buy a third. This is the rule of thirds. Buy 1/3 when it's cheap, buy another third when it gets even cheaper, and buy that last third as it comes back in your favor. Again, as one of my old bosses used to say, when cat litter's cheap, you buy it. You could always buy the cat later. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Please hit the like and subscribe. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.